Hi.
Hello.
Oh, I like your cap.
Me too.
You look so tiny for some reason, though.
I think it is. It's an old cap. And I know, pick it down. I felt using a cap.
It looks like a mixture of very cute and sexy.
Yeah, this is not
And
actually like
like
a
what it is.
it's not a sporty cap. It's more like, I don't know, to wear in an outfit or something like that. And
Yeah.
I have it for many years, and for some reason I don't wear it. So I just like, okay, because after this podcast, I'm going to my gym class.
Yeah.
So I just like, I'm gonna put my cap on. I'm already dressed with my outfit to train. Well, you can see it, but
You're prepared.
yes, I am prepared. It's been fun going back to exercising my body. It's been my playing arena. To be honest, it's not something that I'm not playing at all because there is no matter to play when I'm going to the gym. It's like
What do you mean?
when I'm playing with something in my life, when I'm playing, for example, money, I know I have matter around money, meanings and conditioning.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Okay. That's why it's not that I'm not cracking the codes. It's nothing like that. But when I'm going to the gym, it's like it's so I I don't have any effort. There's no effort in going to the gym. And I know because of this experience, because this is the first time that I'm feeling like this. It's just like, fuck. I just simply go to the gym. My energy is still, although I'm doing exercise, I'm doing an activity, but inside the energy is completely still. And I'm just like, this is exactly what I desire to be in all areas of my life. I know this is like, oh my God, Dali, that you want all at once and everything. Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Would you want anything else than everything at once?
I'm not going to lie to myself. This is exactly the feeling that I want in every area of my life when I'm creating something. The effortlessness. And now I know what doing something effortlessly means because I'm doing it. I'm already living it in my life in this specific arena. When I'm
When
going to the
you in the
gym,
gym, is that actually, does it actually feel like doing anything or does it feel like work?
no, it's feel, I don't feel like I'm doing anything. This is boom. It's just like,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I had the same thing with dancing, but I haven't done that
exactly.
in a long time.
And the beauty and also the challenge for most of us humans is this: if someone had told me that I would be experiencing this while going to the gym, I wouldn't believe it. Or perhaps if I go to the gym to feel this way, I wouldn't be feeling it because I would be doing it from an outside inspiration, an outside someone that has said that to me. And no, and which was not the case. I just went because I went. I woke up one day and I just felt, well, I'm going to apply to the gym. I'm going to sign up. And then
Never
I did.
happened in my life.
Never happened in your life.
That would never
Exactly.
happen.
And I was just like, oh, okay, I'm doing it. And then I went to the gym, I signed up, and I start my trainings. And the first day, the first day that I went, when I came home, I realized that I didn't have the motivation behind going to the gym. I was like, fuck, this is new. Because I always had the when I used to go training on a gym or whatever, I always had a motivation behind, whether it was losing weight or because I thought I had to exercise my body, because I needed to reshape my body, because I didn't like how I looked like. So there was always something behind the action. Which used to make exercising suck.
The why behind the thing, that which we've been told we need in order to achieve something, right? You need to know your why.
I need to know my why.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Exactly. Because I don't have a why to do exercise. I simply just go sign up to the gym. I went, sign up, and there we go. And then the
Do
next
it because you fucking want to. That's the only reason you need.
And yeah, exactly. And even the wanting part, it's like, okay, I do want it, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. But it's not like it's a clear want. It's a clear desire. Like I want to go to the gym and I have no matter around the desire. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is so magical. This is what most mentors talk about. A clean desire. I always thought about what would be clean desire. Like I would question my desires. Like, are they clean? Are they muddy? How are they?
That sounds really exhausting.
Right now,
You can
yeah.
keep yourself busy with that all day long.
Yeah, that I'm a master at that. Keeping myself busy thinking about stuff that don't really matter.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But even that, it's so fascinating.
Yeah, the
So
human.
welcome to the podcast, the raw season, moment in time.
Thank you. I'm glad that I made it, because like earlier today I was like, this is not what I actually want to do today at all. Because I started bleeding today and I felt like total shit earlier.
Ah,
And then I went for a walk and it took me fucking forever to get outside. And the sun is still shining, and I was like, oh, it's nice warm outside. I want to go outside.
hmm.
And then I found 10 million other things to do instead of doing what I wanted to do. That's equally to figuring out if that's the right reason to do something. And then I went for a walk. And I went to the supermarket on the way and bought some stuff, and also bought this bag of
Chips.
Apfelringe, like some gummy stuff. And there's a cat here.
That's a cat.
Yeah, she's staring at that thing now. Yeah, she's getting rid of some energy at the moment, I think. She's just all over the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, but my insides were kind of screaming, I don't want to do this. But I was like, I don't feel like sending her a message that I want to cancel either. So let's just do this.
Well, you could have.
But I didn't want to.
Oh,
But it felt really uncomfortable. It's like, but this is like the perfect day to actually do it, because I didn't want to do it.
there you go.
Wow.
And sometimes that can be tricky.
It was beautiful outside. I was like having a bunch of moments where I was just standing there and closing my eyes and soaking up the sun. And I'm more sun in the back kind of person than sun in the face, but I did both.
Hmm.
It's just so nice to just stand there and feel really warm.
It's still hot there?
No, it's getting autumn and it's changing from one to the other. It's warm and it's cold and then I've been sleeping with an extra blanket the last few days because
Hmm.
the room where my bed is like it feels like 10 degrees colder than here in the living room.
Yeah, it's like my room. My room is colder than the rest of the house.
I just can't stand these temperature changes, like fucking hell for me.
I love it. I love when the days start getting smaller. I love the nights.
Mm. Ironically, I remember the other day that autumn is my favorite season. I completely forgot about that. Like when you're just walking around, it's cold and the sun is still there and all these colors, when you look at the trees and the leaves and they have all these. You okay?
It's feeling
Have
the
all
energy.
these.
It's feeling the energy.
Yeah, it's this thing when cats they have this self-correcting automatism when they have built up too much energy, they just run around like crazy and jump around and
Yeah, it's like
I
mine.
didn't know that until
She
we
does
went
the
there.
same.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on with her? And I looked it up and it's like, oh, that's really handy. Why don't humans do that? It would make such a big difference. And I'm not sure if that kicks in automatically. I just have to do something.
Yeah, it makes me wonder what triggers them.
Yeah,
Start
exactly.
doing that.
I've seen that before, and I heard people say, "Oh, the cats have their crazy 5 minutes every day." I didn't think anything about it, but yeah,
Is he he or she?
she,
So she's having the 5 minutes right now during the
yeah,
podcast. Mine is just over there sleeping in their pillow, like looking at me. Oh,
oh,
yeah. She's cute. I love her. So so this podcast is completely free of subjects. We talk about whatever we want to talk about, like exactly what we are doing. No subject, no theme. I like the
I
freedom.
like that.
Yeah, I like this freedom. Well, I do like when there's a team and to go deep in the team. But sometimes I'm enjoying so much doing this podcast. It's like it's being perfect. Talking with people and meeting with people that are bringing me so much new things. Like it's so fun to meet new people that speak about different stuff. Not only about self-development, although
I'm sorry, but this looks so hilarious. Like she's hiding from something. That's. I looked so hilarious. She was like sitting in the corner of the sofa, like I've never seen her before. What were you saying?
I was saying about that I'm loving creating this podcast series because of this freedom, because I'm meeting new people and I'm having all these sort of conversations that they are so amazing, because I feel, or I was feeling that all that I was listening to was related to self-development or energetics or whatever. And it's not that that has become boring. I do like talking about that shit, but there must be something outside different. People that talk about different stuff that I have no idea.
Yeah, there's
So
more to life than just that, I guess.
yes, this world of self-development, it's so tiny, and sometimes we think it's like the only world that exists. But I want to explore new worlds, and that means new people, because each person is a different world. It's a different world. It's just like, oh my God, I'm just so amazed when I bump into someone new and talk about for the first time. I love it. Something that really turns my being on. So thank
What
you.
is your what?
Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. What was I gonna say? Oh, what is your take on small talk?
Can be fun sometimes. I like to play. There was a time where I thought it was so boring. Oh my God, this is so boring. These people cannot shut them out. Blah, blah, blah. Right now, it's just talk.
Yeah, I feel like there's a huge difference though when someone comes from a preconceived idea of, oh, we're meeting for the first time and these three things are the things that we can talk about. Everything else has to needs like more time and more trust in order to be able to open up myself or
Oh,
the other
okay.
person to open up to talk about whatever. But that's how I understand small talk, that people are like really as in this small mind concept of we have to follow a linear pathway kind of to get somewhere. You're gonna start somewhere and then go further down the road, you know? And but it doesn't have to be that way. You can just talk about anything. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to have a reason. That's the same thing as that's what we were talking about before, like what you were saying with the gym. You don't have to have a reason. You can just open your mouth and see what wants to come out, right?
I can tell yes, and I can tell the difference. What I think the reason that I didn't enjoy the small talk in the past for the majority of people that were around me, it was in the energy, because you can have a small talk, a genuine small talk, a genuine small talk,
Yeah.
a genuine small talk. But when the small talk is forced, you are forcing the small talk to something. That's what I was getting. That's why I was just like, I would remove myself, or would feel like, no, I'm not going to stay here because I don't like this conversation. But there can be genuine small talks. Why we have to have deep talks all the time? On my side, I like to play with everything in life, not just with this. I like to play with the whole scope of the experiences of life.
I'm playing with my laptop at the moment. It's sitting on my foot.
You're trying to balance it?
Yeah. So if it's like I don't have anything to put it on, and yeah. I love deep talk shit though.
So as I.
I used to be really like, say, sex, for example. I remember like a particular situation. I don't know how many years ago, but it was a long time ago, where I was in Los Angeles with a friend. And we were sitting in this diner, and like we've known each other for a few years, and I think we were sitting there eating pizza, and like out of nowhere, he said to me, "So let's talk about sex." And I was like, I just wanted to crawl under the table and hide there for forever. And it's like, what? What? Are you for fucking real? And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk about sex, and I don't want to talk about sex with you either. So no. And then we started talking about sex. I don't remember the conversation, but I very distinctively remember that moment. And now it's like, yeah, let's talk about sex if you want to, but yeah, it's not like this huge resistance that was there back then. It was shocking.
In my case, I would be, yes, let's talk about sex. What do you want to talk about? That's Dalida.
You know what I found really difficult, or more rather challenging? Difficult, challenging, kind of the same thing, but it's like a different frame. I find it challenging to start a conversation with someone. I just talking about whatever is not a thing that I think about. But if I want to talk about something specific, I find it so much easier to respond to someone instead of initiating the conversation or the subject. And I'm not sure why that is. The only thing that kind of explains that is this human design thing. I'm a generator, and there's this whole thing about responding to things.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one thing that rings really true for me. But the why behind that, I don't know.
But I'm a manifesting generator. And when I first started learning about human design, it was like 7 years ago. I did the first module or something about human design back then, and I really enjoy it. It was a really good, and it is a really fascinating tool. And I remember the strategy of generators and manifesting generators, which is wait and respond. And back then, till I start learning the tool, I didn't know what was waiting. I was in a action mode all the time. I was just acting in action. I didn't wait. I was just like, I want to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. I was just like, go, let's go. Boom, 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 boom. And when I start learning about the human design, I was like, oh, perhaps I must wait for something, because I'm in this doing, and I am completely draining myself, because that was like, it was like a horse. I was feeling like a horse. Yeah,
horse.
a horse that was running all the time, and I couldn't stop the horse. Let's go, let's go.
Did you have an off switch that you had to press before you went to bed?
Say that again?
Did you have an off switch that you had to press before you went to bed every night?
Off switch, what you mean about that?
Switching off the doing mode?
No, it was difficult.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, even in bed, I was just like, oh my God.
I need to sleep. I need to sleep.
Yeah, I
no!
I need to rush and sleep because I need to rush because I have to wake up in the morning, blah, blah, blah. This was me in the past.
Did
And then
you
I
feel
started,
drained and stressed all the time, or did you
not
not even
stressed. I didn't feel stressed, but I was feeling like if I stop, something will happen. Will happen.
Oh,
If I stop, something will happen. So I must keep going.
that is interesting.
I must keep going because if I stop, my life will crumble and I cannot lose control of my life.
Sounds like you had to
Oh my God.
know.
Such a big shift. Just like I'm unrecognizable, Pax.
Yeah, like sounds like you that like relaxing had like a dangerous side effect in your mind.
And on the other hand, when I decided to stop, because there was one moment that I decided to stop, like, let's see what's going to happen. Because I'm that kind of person. I want to see what's going to happen. And then I became sloppy. So sloppy. Like at home, I just doing nothing. Like the complete extreme of doing that I was back then. And then one day I was just like, oh, perhaps I have to start doing something again because my life is just like a big pile of mess. So I've been playing between these extremes in my life. Right now, I feel not that I'm controlling my life, but I do what I gotta do, and I stop with no fear that something will happen, at least right now in the things that I'm doing. But as I was saying, regarding the human design, there was a time that I was just wait and respond. Okay, so I'm gonna wait. Let me try this. Let me wait and see what happens, you know? But the wait does not mean there's not an action coming from my side first. And an action can be going to the gym, for example. This was something that, oh, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to sign up to the gym. And after this is fascinating. After signing up to the gym and start really going to the gym, every step has been bringing me clarity about the next step and the next step and the next step.
Yeah, I think that's called momentum.
Yeah, it's bringing me something which I can respond to. So
I
this is
never really got deep into human design, and just looking at this chart with all these numbers just makes my brain go off instantly. And I've been reading a little bit about it and some bits and pieces, but this waiting thing never resonated with me. And I think that's what many people misunderstand that. And also the responding thing. I think as I heard someone say that you have to respond to something that is outside of you, which I think is also total bullshit, because when you have an idea popping up or something dropping in your head, well, I can't respond to that because it's inside of me, so I have to still wait. What kind of rubbish is that?
Exactly.
So I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. Because if you have an idea and you don't do anything with that, what's the fucking point of the idea? Oh yeah, no, you have my idea. I don't want it. I have to wait till somebody else comes from the outside and like what?
Yeah, that is where the tools, well, not the tools are not tricky. It's our understanding and our perception when we read information about the tools. Because I can read the same shit about the generator, and I will have an idea and you will have a different one from it.
Yeah.
So it's not the tool itself, it's how we interpret the tool and what
It's
we
the
are
same
reading.
with anything with Facebook. You can use it as a tool, or you can use it as your daily drug or whatever.
Yeah.
I read a post recently which was fucking genius. Like, if you're using social media not for entertainment or to make money, then just get the fuck out of it. It's like, yeah. So simple and so true. And then there are people they saying, oh, Facebook is so fucking toxic or whatever. That was the first thing that popped in my head. Like, or the same with people, like, this person is that and that and that, but you don't have to hang out with that person if you don't like it. You can just walk away. Do what you enjoy and not do what winds you up, because there's a reason why it winds you up. And do you know that feeling when you talk about something and then the opposite of that pops in your head and it doesn't make any sense anymore?
Give me an example.
Like what I just did, what I just said, and while I was saying that sentence, the opposite of that was like, oh, that's true as well. And I had a phase in my life, like every time I was saying something, I was like, the opposite of that is true as well. And it was so fucking confusing. And then went to the point, was like, I feel like I cannot even say a sentence anymore without that awareness. Like, oh, if I say this, I have to say the opposite of that as well, because
Oh yeah.
life is just like, yeah, there's truth, but there's like other bits and pieces to it. And it got me really, really confused. And
Yeah, for example, I cannot write everything that I want to write all in one post. There was a time I was just like, man, I want to say this, but to say this, I have to say that, because and I would just get stuck in writing a post just because I want to say all the things, and then I had to stop with that shit. Just like, I want to write about this. This is what's coming through, and this is what I'm submitting. And sometimes the comment section is like, oh, but this and that. You, of course, I'm not going to respond to that kind of comments, because that is exactly the reason why I'm creating, and I wrote that piece, and I've submitted it, and it cannot contain everything that I want to say.
yeah, it makes things really, really complicated when you do that. But this awareness that pops in these moments is like so crazy. Like, it's like this gateway into the void, or something opens up, but in a different way, not in the void, kind of like there's nothing, but like everything just comes pouring out and just jumps in your face, and you just want to pick a tiny little piece of all that chaos that's basically life. I'm gonna pick this one. And then the whole of life jumps at me, and I don't know what to do with it. Say, nope, you're not coming in here. And I think that's how the algorithm of life works, actually, that there's this spider web of things, and they're all kind of connected, and it's like a maze, but not. And like every time you say, what's the picture to that? What's the image to that? I don't know, it feels like standing in front of a door, and then you say either yes or no. And when you say yes, the door opens up. And if it was not in alignment with you, you walk through the door and there are like 3 more doors opening up, and you like, which one am I going to take? when you say no, the door stays shut and you have to find a different way. But every time you say yes and you pass through the door and you got 3 more doors and you're like, what the fuck? I didn't want this. And you can't decide which door you want to walk through. And then you walk through one of them and there's more doors and you're like, what did I just do? I knew I should have said no in the first place, but I didn't. Fuck. Now I'm here.
Yesterday, I read this Portuguese meme. Perhaps it's running also in another language, but it cracked me up. It was like something like this: when a door closes, it means you are either outside or outside that door.
Yeah, it's very true.
And you were talking now about the doors, and I was going to ask you, but are you inside or outside that door? Which side of the door are you? Oh shit, this is so funny. It can be seen from so many angles.
Yeah, and then there's the 12th dimension where you see everything
Mm-hmm.
and you are the fucking door.
I don't know. I'm not seeing anything from where I am.
So funny. Have you ever seen this comic? It's called Dr. something on YouTube. Dr. Quantum or something. It's like a kids show, and I only ever seen one episode where they show the difference between 2D and 3D. Where 2D is like basically a sheet of paper, it's just flat. And everything is flat there. There is no above and no beyond. There's just left and right and forwards and backwards. And there's this figure in this house, and this Dr. Quantum is like huge and standing outside of the house and can see everything, the whole city. And he looks into the house and he starts talking to that person in the house. And the person in the house is shit scared, like, oh, where did that voice come from? And he's like, I'm above you. And they're like, where? That word is not allowed. And then you realize quite quickly that they just have this very limited view of reality. And he's like, well, I'm outside, but you can't see me. You can just hear me, but I can see everything. And that person gets completely freaked out. And just as I'm saying that, I remember when I was little, I was playing with Barbie dolls, and I was sitting there sometimes thinking, oh, I'm here. I'm a lot bigger than these Barbie dolls, and I'm playing with them. Maybe there is someone who's bigger than me and playing with me. I haven't thought about it in years, but it was like, it seemed very, I don't know what for that right now, but it seemed like a very logical thing.
Yeah.
Like there's not like as in controlling, but someone playing a game here, and we are the puppets or the dolls in the game.
I know the sensation. I thought about that several times in my life. I've questioned myself if I was the one really doing the things, or I was being guided by, how do they call? No, I don't know the name. Anyway, but there was
Is
a
that
moment.
really your idea to go to the gym and sign up there?
Don't make me go there.
That is a deep
No.
fucking rabbit hole. Or maybe just a wormhole.
Yeah.
We will never find out.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about it though?
No, I'm thinking about, I used to do that in the past and I'm not doing that anymore. It's funny how I just realized it now. I used,
Like, was
I,
that
w-
really my decision or?
yes, I used to question everything. Is it the right choice? Am I doing this right? Should I do this now? Should I do this later? Is this the right perfect timing? And that was really tiring
Yeah.
as fuck.
But having said that, that we'll never find out. I remember there was this experiment that I saw once. There was like a bunch of people sitting in front of a computer, not like all of them at the same time, but just one at a time, and they were like supposed to answer different questions on the screen, and they were like kind of connected to an EEG to measure the brain waves or something. And so it turned out the question that they were supposed to answer, the answer already registered like a second or so before they consciously answered the question and typed it in the computer. Like, so the answer already existed before they even saw the question. It's the same kind of bamboozling thing, like where does
Yeah,
all come from? And what are we actually doing here? That's actually my favorite subject, and it's been on my mind since I've been 11. So I was like constantly asking myself, why are we even, what is this all about? I just couldn't figure it out. It was really frustrating back then.
what about today?
Well, sometimes on bad days, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? But most of all, I'm like, okay, there are some cornerstones of what this is all about, and seems to be like a game of evolution that we're playing with ourselves and have completely forgotten about. And the whole idea is to wake up and remember who the fuck we actually are and why we're here, and to create what we want to create.
Yeah.
And not just follow the rules and, I mean, make it a bit interesting while we're here. And there's another piece that just dropped in recently. There was a guy I was following on Facebook, and he was constantly saying you were never born and you never died. And on an intellectual level, I kind of got what he was talking about. But a few weeks ago, somehow that really dropped in, and I was like, that is actually so fucking true, because we are not our body. We do have a body, but that's not who we are. And somehow that all clicked together, that we actually never die and we never get born. The body is that thing. Sounds strange to call it a thing. It's more like a technology, really. But the body is what gets born, and we connect with the body. I don't know when, but, and that was such a huge aha moment when I realized. I was like, whoa, that's fucking deep. And still, every time I have some kind of physical pain, it feels like I'm having an out of body experience actually inside my body. It's like it makes me feel so cringy within myself that just the whole experience of me goes to shit in 3 seconds. And I just, I don't want to do this anymore.
When you are in shit?
When
you are in shit or the triggering shit?
No, the physical pain part.
Yeah.
It's like this thing of like all these thoughts that you have and they make you feel like shit. That's how you know they're not true. It's the same with physical pain. It's like kind of an equivalent of that's not how it's supposed to be. That's it's not normal, and yet there are like bazillions of people who live in a constant state of pain, whether that's emotional, physical, mental pain, and for them it's just like a normal state of being because it's been such a long time that they've been experiencing that they don't even remember what it's like without that pain anymore. It's just like that's how it is, and I have to take medication or whatever. But yeah, it's not our natural state of being.
The pain?
Yeah.
I think the pain is a natural, it's part of the being, suffering.
You
It's
think
what,
suffering is natural?
no. The pain is something that is natural. It's like you feel pain, but when you suffer, when you attach meaning to the pain and you create suffer, that is, for me, it's not natural. Although it is an experience we create as human beings, but pain is natural.
Yeah,
But we don't like
on a
to,
constant basis.
but we don't like feeling it.
Hmm?
But we don't like feeling it, obviously. We avoid it.
Yeah, and the thing is, the avoidance makes it even worse.
The denial
I
and
mean,
the
like
avoidance, yeah.
being in a constant state of pain is not normal. It's normal, but it's not natural. Like, of course, every now and then you experiencing some pain. It's like it's just part of the whole experience. But it's the same with like lying to people and doing it because you don't want to hurt them. Just makes things worse. It's like this whole avoidance instead of going straight into something. Like, say it's raining outside and you have to go somewhere and you know you're going to get soaking wet on the way, but you know you have to go. And if you don't go, something bad happens. Would you rather go and get yourself completely soaked or just stay at home and stay dry? I mean, that's not exactly pain, but that's the first thing that just popped up. And that is like somehow, I don't know, I'm glad I don't have a dog because
A dog?
yeah, because that's what you have to do when it's pissing cats and dogs and the dog needs to go outside. You have to go outside with the dog, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you won't go outside with the dog and the dog just poops inside.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. I mean, that's a very simple example, and I'm not sure if I'm sure there are people who just
Don't get
I
it.
can't
Don't
be bothered to go outside today. It's raining. You just can poop into the bathtub or something. I'm sure that does happen.
don't
There's
get a
nothing
dog.
that does not exist in this world. Tell me about the special tricks that your dog can do. I can poop into the bathtub. I trained you.
I trained him by not taking him to the streets, taking me outside. So eventually he got himself trained to poo on the toilet, on the bathtub.
There are actually people who train their cat to poop into the toilet. It's insane.
I have family members that have done that with their cats, and they go to the toilets and they pee right there. When I saw it, I was just like, this is fucking unbelievable. The cat just goes there and pees on the toilet. Opens his legs. No. What happened to the
Must be
old ways? Old
That
Sam.
must be such an experience to see that. I mean, I have seen it on video, but seeing that in real time, like happening in front of you.
I don't know if the cat has died or not, but it was hilarious to see, to watch. I'm just looking at her. She's having her strike now, the same as yours. She's going crazy.
But it makes all the difference in the world. There's no pent-up energy, nothing that it's like this I'm not sure if it's a reflex or an instinct or whatever it is when animals are in a situation that's like somewhat traumatic and they just shake it off and they get it out of their system. And humans don't do that. They just carry shit around for years, decades, lifetimes. And it just takes like like little kids when they throw themselves on the floor and have a temper tantrum. It's just like moving through all the motions. And then the next moment, it's like nothing happened. Humans are so strange. Why do we do that? Who started all of this? Like we go through all this conditioning and programming, and in best case scenario, at some point we realize what's been going on and we
Yeah.
build our way out of that again. I actually wonder where that started and when it started and why that started. I really would like to know that.
Yeah.
And how that happened and how that all came to be.
It's funny that you are bringing that subject because while I was driving back home before starting this podcast, a question dropped. Not a question, it was more like a thought. And I was just like, oh, so what if I had no access to the information that I had till now, if I had no knowledge about energetics, about feminine and masculine, about anything? And no one would be around me, who would I be? And that made me think, interesting. How fast am I to think that I'm being myself when a big percentage it's a byproduct of my externals. So I'm like a parrot. I feel like a parrot sometimes, like, I'm talking about this and this. Like, okay, it's the truth. Many people are talking about it, but what if I had no access whatsoever to what these people are saying? Would I be saying that? Probably I wouldn't.
And then you can take that further and ask yourself, why are you saying that? How did you come across that information? Because I truly believe that the things that we really, it's like with the news, like so many people are watching the news to inform themselves what's happening in the world. But I truly believe that the things that you really need to know, they will come to you in one way or the other. And all these things that you know now, opposing to what if you didn't have the information? Somehow that information came to you.
Because
And if you wouldn't have
somehow,
been open to it, you would have just like, no, that's not for me. I'm not interested. Go away.
so there is a big chance that, yeah, there was a conditioning will be part of my life forever. There was this period of my life, I don't know, 4 years ago or a few years ago, that I really believed that I would be with such purity, clean, with no conditioning, like vibrating in eight octanes in the 7th or 11th dimension. I truly
Pooping
believe.
rose petals.
Yeah, complete like a lotus. I truly believe that there was a moment of my life I believed that
It must be really cool to believe that. It's a nice thing to believe. It's very delusional, but yeah, that's not a bad thing either.
no, it's not. It's not.
Being delusional can be quite liberating, I think.
Yeah, and one thing will always lead me to another thing, to another move, to something that is truer for me. I know that. I know that deep in my bones. I know that every move, everything that I do, it's not that I'm coming back to myself. Like, for example, you speak a lot of homecoming. And for example, when I'm at the gym exercising, I feel like I'm at home because I'm with myself. So there's no other place to go because I'm already in it.
Yeah, there's no place like home, right?
There's no place like Rome. And that place is, it's something, or it's not something that I thought it would be. I thought it was like with unicorns and pink flowers and all those beautiful feelings, la 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 la. And I was just like, oh,
What is it about the unicorns, though?
it's actually a very peaceful place to be. A very peaceful place to be.
Being at home.
Oh.
Hmm?
With no roller coaster, emotional roller coasters, just like so in a way, I feel that when my life, when I'm in a roller coaster in my life, I am the one creating it because it becomes so peaceful, too peaceful for me that I have to look for shit. And I was just like, yeah, that's kind of truth.
And some people pay money to go on a roller coaster to feel something.
What people are paying to find peace, to be at peace. I'm at peace right now with myself. I think I'm gonna go on the roller coaster for a
Yeah,
bit
watching horror movies or
to
something.
bring some emotion to my life because this is too peaceful.
Do you like watching horror movies?
I do,
Have you seen
but not at night anymore.
what's it called? Have you seen Final Destination?
I've seen it with my son. My son is like, "Mom, you gotta see this movie with me." And I said, "Okay, let's do it." I was like, "Fuck! What the fuck is this?" Don't you like it? Yo, man, this is madness. But I
I've
love the
seen
final. It's
a TikTok video recently where someone was talking about Final Destination and changing lanes on the highway, and she was talking about, oh, we all have watched this movie and that's what this movie has done to us. And I wrote in the comment section, that's why I do not watch these kind of movies. I watched the beginning of that one with the highway and the one with the plane. I think that was the first one. But there was a particular point, I think it was 10, 15 minutes in, where I was like, I'm out. I can't watch this shit. This is gonna follow me for the rest of my life. I just can't. Bye.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
And the story, the story itself, the guy that predicts exactly what's happening and who's dying next. That is
Yeah, that
just
sounds like a lot of fun.
a lot of fun. He knows, like, I saw the prediction and I saw who's gonna. And they are just in that waiting, anticipation for till someone really dies, and
Yeah.
that's the.
And then there's the question, is that actually, are they actually dying because they believe they're gonna die, or what is it?
From what I've seen, they know they are going to die.
But the same thing applies when people go to the doctor, and the doctor, for whatever reason, has this knowledge that this person sitting in front of me, you have like 3 months to live.
Yeah, exactly. Who's the
That's
authority?
just like so strange. Like how would they know that? And then people spend all their savings and go on a big trip and just have like a great time, and then 3 months later they did not die. They're still alive.
And now they go blame the doctor. The
Yeah.
doctor has ruined my life.
You've
Blah, blah,
ruined my
blah.
life. Exactly. I mean,
Those moments, it's like, who's the authority in your life?
exactly. And especially about something massive like that, like your life ending. How is somebody, I mean, this is another moment where this thing happened, where I was like, I was about to say something, and then it was like this blob. I couldn't even identify what exactly it was, but there's so much to it. Even if you say have cancer, that doesn't mean anything, because we all have cancer cells in our body all the time. Maybe that's something you did not know. Did you know that?
Yeah, I
Okay.
know, because my mom died of cancer, and when she died, I had to do some blood analysis, and that's when my doctor said that these are specific to see the levels of your cancer region cells, to see if you have a possibility, possibility to create cancer. Everyone has potential to create cancer.
No, I mean, everybody has cancer cells in their body.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
learned
yeah.
it in massage school, and I didn't know that either. But like your lymphatic system, your lymph nodes they are there too.
Yeah, but they are in a specific level, which means they are not harmful in your body, but you do have them.
Yeah, they do exist, and then
They
they don't exist anymore.
They start mutating for a specific reason in every person.
Yeah.
That's why they can't find the cure, because every person creates a specific cancer within themselves. It's like, oh,
But there is cure for cancer since a long time.
yeah,
It's not publicly accessible. It's like, yeah, not something you can make money off.
of course, there are some benefits in keep people
Stupid.
and hide information from them.
Yep.
People want people sick. Not every people or every person, but there's a lot of advantage in keeping people sick.
And it's a lot of work as well. It's like the whole system is built on that. Even when you look at therapy, it's not designed to bring people back home to themselves or help support them be a sovereign being. It's more like, oh, this is what's been going havoc in your past, and that's where you went off track and all these things, and you become so aware of everything, but it's not about doing something about it and actually changing it back to your original setting. And all these, I mean, just mental health, there are this big book with these gazillions and bazillions of diagnoses, and there's a diagnosis for everything. And that's just in and of itself really telling. Like, if that would all just vanish from the face of the earth in one day, and things would just flip to the other side, like, instead of trying to fix something, going back to the original blueprint of who you are. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about here, but it's like, this would be a different place.
It's a fucking orchestra.
Yeah, in my head, there's also an orchestra, like, what was I gonna say? Oh, I wanted to say this earlier, but I didn't. There was another TikTok video I saw where there's a woman, she's got ADHD, and she made these, I just watched 2 of her videos, but the whole theme of her channel is about not the typical, oh, you got ADHD, so these are the symptoms and this is how this plays out in your life and everybody's talking about it. She's doing the reverse thing. She's doing, oh, you're neurotypical and that's why you're so strange. It was fucking hilarious. Like, yeah, neurotypical people, they have this problem when they tell you a story. They start at A and they go straight line to the end of the story, and they just speak so slow, and you're like, can you just get to the fucking point and never change their speed of their voice or their tone? It's just all the same. It's just like so boring. And she was really like making a comedy show out of it. It was so funny. And I first didn't get it. I was like, I had to watch it twice. Like, is she doing what I'm thinking that she's doing there? Because I've never seen anything like that before. It was so cool.
The reverse, doing the reverse.
Yeah, that's what I was actually getting at with the whatever I was trying to say there. Diagnosing people for being normal, like that's actually a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have the same way of thinking about those so-called mental health diseases. I don't buy in that shit. Yeah, you have an ADHD brain. I might have as well. I have never done a test, but I'm pretty sure there is some level of schizophrenia with DHD, with, I don't know, with something else. There was a moment in my life that I thought I had a problem.
The way you said that was fucking gold. There was a moment in my life.
I thought I had a problem. And then I really thought about it twice. I was like, is it? Who's saying I have a problem? Who's saying I have a problem? Yes, I think differently, and I'm supposed to think differently from other people. Yeah.
There was a moment. I mean, just that. There was like this one moment in my whole entire life where I thought I had one problem, just one, once. I remember the day and the time it happened.
I don't know. I don't remember the day and the time. That is.
It was like such an unbelievable experience. Can you imagine that? Like, if that was not normal to think that you have a problem, and you're just sitting there one day on your couch, like, I think I might have a problem. That never happened before. What is going on? What am I supposed to do now? Do I need to read a book? Do I need to talk to someone about this? Do I need to think about it for 10 hours or 10 years?
But that's
I
what
don't know.
happened. That's what
What do you
happened.
do?
It's so fucking crazy. Oh, Pax.
I think I just had an idea for a TikTok video.
Go do it. I have no idea how to work with TikTok.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky to figure that out. You have
But
to
I
use
will
your
know.
brain.
But I will know. It's like I'm that person that when I'm playing with a new social media or platform or whatever, I like to play with stuff. Like for example, there was a period that Instagram didn't had no stories, and when I saw that they had that functionality, I don't know how to say it, but functionality, I started playing. Like I wasn't expecting to be perfect. Like, no, I'm gonna do this, and I want this to be perfect at first. No, I just like, oh, let me see how this works out. Oh, now I'm seeing this works like this and like that. So I enjoy that exploring and that discovery. So I'm gonna do the first videos or the first posts I'm gonna do on TikTok are going to be like this, like completely blind. I don't know what I'm going to do or what I'm doing, but they are going to be submitted this way. And I'm going to keep it because that's the beginning of myself playing with the tool. Like, oh,
I totally hated it. I was like sitting there the other day. I was like, why is this not working? How is this? I hate this. I don't know how this works like now. I don't have patience for this shit. But yeah.
No, I'm gonna discover how to play with that. So far, what I know is you need at least 1,000 subscribers to do a live stream.
That's what I heard. Why am I so blurry all of a sudden?
I don't know, but I'm loving it.
Hi. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Hi.
So
yeah, I'm having a bit more fun with it now that I figured out that main problem that I had. But yeah, playing with shit. Maybe
for
not
example,
playing with
TikTok,
shit.
I created the account like 4 or 5 days ago. It's really, really new. I was sleeping. I woke up during the night, and I was just like, oh, I'm going to create a TikTok account. Poof, TikTok account done. Back to sleep again. No, but this is something that happens quite often. It's like, poof, I woke up and something drops. Sometimes I let it slip and I don't do it. But sometimes I'm just like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then I go to bed again and I fall asleep again. And then on the next day, I start receiving notifications. So what the fuck is this? And then I saw the TikTok symbol on my phone.
Completely forgot that you created the TikTok account.
Completely. I was like, oh yeah, this is a TikTok. It was, I didn't had put my name. I was the user 614349 blah blah blah. I was like, what the fuck? So, but
You
then I
don't
did,
like that name? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I'm a user, yeah, blah blah blah. So then I just like, okay, let me just put this some colors on it. So I upload the picture, my image, and that's it. There's nothing on my bio, but I'm gonna do it.
I was
Soon.
just thinking, can you imagine if instead of names, people had numbers and we would talk to them as the number? Like,
They would feel like prisoners.
like what?
Prisoners. People in prison, they have numbers.
They do.
Ah. Oh, so this is a lovely way to end the podcast. Go and do that video for the TikTok.
You know, that one time in my life when I had a problem.
There was a time in my life that I thought I had a problem, you know? Thank you.
Thank you for inviting. Let me rephrase that.
I didn't invite you. You sent me
Yeah,
a
that's
message.
why I was like stumbling over my own words. Thank
Is
you
that-
for having me.
Yeah.
Dalida.
Thank you, Pax.
Is that how you say it? Dalida?
Dalida.
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 Thank you for having me. Dalida.
Nice. Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Bye.